Hello and welcome back to the Alexandria Society. We're back with another mystery docket here this week. I'm Tim with surprisingly 3 nickels, and with me today is my buddy Derek, who's surprised it happened thrice. How are you, Derek?
We're talking about the doll, right? Is that no?
Nope. This is a yes, we are talking about Annabell, but that is not a reference to Annabell. That's a reference to 3 times now we have decided on a topic, and Lorelodge has put an episode out before we could actually post the episode. This is the first time that we have recorded after they posted their episode.
Jesus Christ.
The first time was Killdozer. Then I can't remember the second time, and this is the third time.
It was the Sky King.
Yes. No, that was Wendigoon, but he put it out way ahead of time.
Oh.
Like, he put out like a year or so before we did ours. Like, if it wasn't for Wendigoon's video, I wouldn't have known about Sky King. It's crazy. I don't think we've done it where we've bumped up with Wendigoon like that. I think it's specifically been Lorelodge, and I don't know how.
Anyways, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, buddy. How are you doing, bud?
I am too. I'm doing pretty good. My kitty has been lovey-dovey, and I've been working on spending more time with family.
Excellent.
My little brother and his fiance came over on Tuesday, and then I went and visited my great aunt and cooked curry for the family over there, like her, my cousin, and all them. And yeah, so I've been working on family time. So what are you drinking tonight, Derek?
What am I drinking tonight? So for my sippers, I just went with some comfort classics for myself. You know, not doing anything not trying anything new. Just went with some Guinness Extra Stout.
What is the ABV on that, by the way?
It is 5.6, and it warms my tummy and it makes me happy. So yeah, classic. Everybody knows it. For my shots, I'm gonna see. But yeah, I'm pulling out the Deep Eddy pineapple, and it makes me very happy. And I've harped on constantly about how happy Deep Eddy makes me.
Hey, we both love Deep Eddy. Like, I'm probably, even though I just bought a vodka today for the next, basically for the rest of the year, because I try and use the liquor twice. I'll probably end up buying a bottle of Deep Eddy, even if it doesn't go on the show for a little while. But my next couple drinks, I don't know if I'll use it for this next episode we record, or if I'll use it for one of the other episodes. But both the beer and the vodka are vanilla flavored. Vanilla bean on the beer for some reason. But it's cool.
Oh, I fucking love vanilla. Hell yeah. That fucking owns. I fucking love vanilla so much.
Oh, yeah. Then for my drinks this week, surprisingly, I was at Walmart and I was like, that looks like a good cider. It's Strong Bow or Bow. I would imagine it's one or the other. Hard cider. It's
How's it spelled?
Strong BOW.
Strongbow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming it's pronounced Bow, but I gave the other alternative pronunciation just in case. Gold Apple, 5%. Tastes really good. It's a nice little cider.
Ooh, looks refreshing.
It is pretty refreshing, not gonna lie. You're probably not getting another one of these.
That's fair.
And then this week again, I'm back with the Astro Blanco tequila. Cheers.
Prost.
So, you ready to hear about some fucking crazy people?
Oh God, let's do this shit.
So today, our original idea was to do Annabell, but one, I didn't want to do basically a repeat of Lorelodge's video because they did that, and this is the first time they scooped us before we recorded. But also, so if you translated like the real story of Annabell, how much like record time do you think you could get out of how much, like, there's a feature like film based on it. How much time do you think you could like like if you the actual story recorded on tape, how long do you think that would last?
I don't fucking know, because I don't know much about Annabelle.
The actual story, in my opinion, is a 5-minute scene in a movie.
Really?
Yes.
I hear people talk about it so much. I'd expect more.
There is almost none of the Warrens' fucking cases have substance. Fucking none. Amityville is the only one that has substance, but that's because of the background, not the actual haunting part.
Okay, yeah, so we're talking about...
We're going to do Annabelle and Amityville Horror House. Those are the two cases of theirs we're going to cover. But...
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah.
So, a little bit, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and get my source out of the way. I used The Demonologist by Gerard Brittle. And for one spicy bit of, like, information, and I went ahead and got a little bit more from 2 other sites. It's... all things interesting. Also, because of their notoriety, it's hard to find any kind of reputable source reporting on the Warrens, even if it's like hard fact stuff. So sources aren't that great. And then Hollywood Reporter. It's because they were tabloid trash, basically.
Ah, okay, cool. Now that is an interesting story in itself.
Yeah. Like, you find very little about them on, like, modern day internet. Like, you can find their Wikipedia articles, you can look up information like, hey, what's this, like, but you can only find, like, hey, regurgitating the story websites, blah, 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 blah. You can't find, like, I mean, there's been a couple books about their cases and all that stuff, but, like, you can't find, like, hey, here's, like, history.com. Like, obviously, they're not gonna fucking cover the Warrens, but, like, any semi-reputable website where you'd be like, I'm not saying that places that have pedigree that you wouldn't assume, like where you wouldn't have to question their sourcing, you know what I mean? And not to say that All Things Interesting didn't do their research or anything like that. It's just, I don't know their history. I don't know anything about them in general, you know? And then there's the Hollywood Reporter, which is very hit and miss. Like, sometimes they'll do tabloid trash, and sometimes they'll actually do some real investigative information out there.
Right.
So Ed Warren was born September 7th, 1926. And then Lorraine Rita Moran, it's M-O-R-A-N. Moran, yes, you're right, sorry. Was born January 31st, 1927.
It's actually pronounced moron.
I mean, she was. I am not going to hide my disdain for these people throughout this, because so this book was written like in the 80s. Like, this book was like in the hype of, like, people actually believed him. The thing about the Warrens, in my opinion, is they started their grift, because it's a grift to me, and the right time of information gathering to get popularity, to get well known, to become a household name, but didn't have to be fact checked.
What a time to be alive.
Didn't have to have... and they claimed to... Like, they tried to act like they were coming from a scientific thing, but, like, the amount of times they try to... Like, they try and, like, academicify, like, stuff. Like, they get so wordy on, like, what sounds like made-up bullshit words. Like, it's fucking hilarious. You need to sit down and listen to this. Like, if... almost replicates that feel when you hear someone say something so stupid you lose brain cells, but you're just not quite there because they're saying it in like trying to be an intelligent manner, but they're saying it about fucking demonology, so it's just everything out the window.
Yeah, modern demonology is so fucking we should go back to like the shit that the Inquisitors wrote.
Like, single-handedly, the Warrens are responsible for, like, modern interpretation of demons for the most part. Not literally single-handedly, but, like, a lot of, like, almost half of Supernatural's depictions of demons came straight from the fucking Warrens.
Yeah, like, you go back and you read about...
Maybe not intentionally, but, like, I'm like, oh, that came out, and that was used in Supernatural. That was used in Supernatural. That was used in, like, 3 or 4 times on their description of demons, they used it.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about, like what their idea, like, what it was they were talking about, like how they depicted demons. But in general, like the way that the demons are depicted nowadays is really interesting to compare to like historical demonology, especially like Catholic demonology, because
biblical demon lore.
Yeah, because like today it's so like back in like the Middle Ages when you had like.
You want me to give you a fact that'll make you want to take a shot on Catholic demonology?
Yeah, go for it.
Ed Warren claimed to be one of 7 people recognized by the Catholic Church as a demonologist, and the only one that was not a priest.
Now, that doesn't sound true to me. That does not sound accurate. Where does he get this claim from? Like, who in the church told him this?
It's bullshit he made up, Derek.
So, but yeah, what I just think is really interesting is that like you go back to the Middle Ages, you read like you read like the books that were written by like the Inquisition about like demonology and demon possession. You go back to like the witch hunts and the way that they talked about it. It was always talked about as like witches and demons are like fighting a spiritual war against like the righteousness, like the godliness of the human race. It was just talked about in like these at this cosmic scale, and then you get demonology today, and it's like yeah, this family moved into a house where there was a murder once, and now like their cutlery like flies around the room sometimes, and it's like that's such low stakes compared to what it used to be because it's been because of the individualism from like modern like modern American capitalist society that kind of crept into the ideas.
Oh yeah, it's insane. So they both grew up Roman Catholic. They married in 45, both at 18. Yeah, they were only about like what was that? 4-ish months apart. Oh yeah, sorry, I meant to say this. Ed passed away on August 23rd of 2006 at 79 years old, and then Lorraine passed away on April 18th, 2019. Just about a year before COVID really broke out at 92. She clocked the fuck out before she had to deal with COVID.
Man, they just really came up in like the best time in American history, didn't they? They could just they
came up at the perfect time to just claim batshit insane things.
Man, back when you could just like back when we had real con artists, to be completely blunt with you, this was
I wanted to call them con artists, but I didn't. From what I understand, they didn't charge for the like their services on like the paranormal stuff. They charged for the museum, but they didn't charge for like actually going into the houses and shit. From what I understand.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is like the 50s or the 60s, or do we get into like the 70s and 80s at that point?
Most of their stuff is in the 70s.
Okay, yeah. So this is still like I'm thinking about like what con artists were doing at this time. Like you got L. Ron Hubbard, who's fucking founding an entire like Scientology. Yeah, and then and it's like you had con artists with some chutzpah at this point.
And then you just have these, hey, I'm religious, demons are real.
No, because even that, at least it has some character to it. I mean, look at today's con artists. Like, first thing that comes to mind, like the MyPillow guy.
I wouldn't call him a con artist. I would call him a grifter. I feel like there's differences. I feel like grifters and like con artists are similar, but I feel like grifters don't try and hide it. They just go for the really dumb people, and then con artists actually try and put like some effort into it. Like there's more theatrics, there's more effort put into the hoodwinking, in my opinion, for a con artist.
Yeah. Actually, I think NFTs are a better
Some of them were a better one. Some of them were pure grift. Some of them were con artists. It depends on which NFT.
They're all grifters, but a good chunk of them were actual just con artists. And look at the guys who do like NFT scams, and they're just fucking like NFT grifters are like the lamest.
Rug pulls are the easiest scam to like. That is a grift. A rug pull is a grift.
Yeah, and they're the lamest fucking grifters on the face in all of human history. They're just such dweebs. There's no class to them. There's no artsmanship to their skin. Like you look at L. Ron Hubbard. That you say what you will about him, the man had some fucking balls. I mean, holy.
Oh yeah, like I want. Fuck! I wish we could have better. Like I wish if we have to deal with all this bullshit of today, I wish we had like. I wish we got that kind of like the polish. Like a lot of people like to call getting screwed over like getting a blowjob or getting fucked. I would like the polish, the slobber on the knob that like you get from a good con artist.
Yeah, I want my bullshit artist to take me to dinner before he fucks me.
Yes.
And we don't get that anymore.
Honestly, a lot of con artists right now are just like those creepers who like to go out, jerk off in the middle of public, and just spooge all over someone randomly.
Ugh.
Am I wrong?
Oh, you're right, but why did you put that image in my head? Actually, you're not that far off. The guy who did the Coney 2012 thing did exactly that, actually.
So, Lorraine claimed to be clairvoyant and a light trance medium.
A trans medium. It's see, nowadays that's some outdated language. Nowadays we call that a switch.
I love your joke, but no, sir. I actually had to look this up. Do you know what a trance medium is?
I know what a medium is. I don't know what a trance medium. Trance as in like put in a trance.
Yes, trance. Yes.
Okay, I can kind of piece it together, but give your definition.
So this is straight from Wikipedia because again I had to look it up. In the 60s and 80s, trance mediums or trance speakers were people who had strong interests in social justice, spoke to the public in an era where it was against social norms. They spoke on abolitionism, temperance, and suffrage. Basically, they believed they were entering a trance that would give them access to spirits who would espouse their knowledge to the world.
Okay, yeah. So like like early spiritualism.
Like light possession. Basically light possession.
Like, yeah, okay.
Not literally, but like... Also, fun fact about the Warrens, they didn't believe possession for, like, human spirits existed. That they contended any possession was demonic in nature.
That is, well, that's very Catholic of them, if nothing else.
Yeah, fair enough. There's actually a story, and so this is the story that's put in the Demonologist. All the stories that I am telling you go mainly by the Demonologist story. There, and this was right in the 80s. A lot of interviews and stuff like that, they have contradicted themselves and just showed themselves to be just con artists, basically.
Oh, that's so shocking to me. That's so surprising.
There are going to be differences if I talk about Annabell or if I talk about the Amityville case and other stuff where it's not going to have exactly stuff line up. In fact, I forgot, it's not just going to be Amityville and Annabell. I did write down some stuff. So there's the Foster family case that I'll touch on, but I'm not going to have a whole lot there. But claimed that one of her very first vision of clairvoyance was on Arbor Day when she was in Catholic school. Sounded like it was a boarding school from the way the story went, because it sounded her punishment later for claiming to have, like, because she's supposedly a kid and was dumb and admitted she was seeing the future, was like sounded like they were like boarding school because it was like a weekend punishment thing, but I could be wrong. So they were planting new trees for Arbor Day, and everyone else was looking down at the ground where they were planting the tree, but Lorraine was looking up into the sky, and one of her teachers mouths off, "Oh, what, are you looking into the future?" And she's like, "Yeah, I guess I am." Because she's claiming she saw the tree fully grown up and big, tall, and strong.
That just sounds like a kid with an imagination. Like, I don't know.
That's her claim of first bit of clairvoyance, is that.
It just sounds like this woman never grew up. I'm not going to lie to you.
The Warrens claim to have investigated 10,000 cases.
All right. Oh, sure they did.
They also ran an occult museum out of, like, a house. I don't know if it was their house that they had. At a young age, Ed was into, like, the supernatural, paranormal, occult, whatever you want to call it. And he claims to have read all of the legitimate literature by, I think, if I remember correctly, 18, but early young adulthood. All legitimate occult knowledge that is, like, supposedly out there, he had read it by early adulthood, 18-ish, maybe 20, early 20s.
Real quick, I just had a thought that this will be quick. In a work, I can't remember which one it was, but in a work by Edgar Allan Poe, one of the literary, like, devices that he uses in the narrative of the story that he wrote in order to convey that a person was evil was he described this person as having a particular book on his bookshelf, and it was a book called the Malleus Maleficarum, which was basically an inquisitor's handbook for, like, witch hunting in, like, the 1300s, I think. And
so early witch hunting, not like Salem witch hunting.
Yeah, like the stuff that would like the earliest stages of like the Inquisition, like hunting down heretics that would like eventually like evolve into witch hunting. And this book is considered like in romance poetry and novels and things like that. This book was kind of invoked a lot to it's like a shorthand for like the evils of irrational religious fanaticism. That's the basic idea, like in a literary sense of what this book represents. I'm just imagining this guy as like a 12-year-old picking up this book and reading it cover to cover and thinking, this is a great idea.
So, from what I understand, you know that one trope in media where like, hey, I really want to be this kind of person, whatever, I want to go into this field, and they read all the literature to prepare themselves, doing none of like the like, I know you haven't watched it, but it's a lot like this. It's like in My Hero Academia where Izuku does like all the like he studies heroes, all that, but he never trained, he didn't do anything like that before he met All Might. In my opinion, it's a little bit like that. He was just obsessed with it, is what I see.
But he never met his demon hunting All Might.
I mean, I guess technically you could claim he did. I don't know who the fuck it would have been, but like he made a fucking name for himself. He became the demon hunting All Might.
He became demon hunting All Might.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
I seriously considered just writing out a list of all their supposed rules that they had regarding demonology, and I was just like, we would want to take a shot for every one of these rules, and me and you would just fucking
just go through just give me the highlights and we'll take a shot at these.
I didn't actually write them down. I just wanted to. But there are some major differences between like the real biblical lore on demonology, like biblical demonology versus what they were espousing and how exorcism worked. The one thing they kept quoting in the book, and I don't know if this is right, and I meant to look it up, but I didn't have a chance. They kept quoting that exorcists, in order to perform an exorcism, like full-blown real Catholic exorcists, had to have a 3-day fast and like a huge like prayer, like mental prayer, fasting, and all that before they could go in to do that. Before they could go in. And I don't know how real that is, but I did learn, interestingly enough, each diocese has their own exorcist. I didn't think that each diocese had an exorcist. I knew they were an official thing by the Catholic Church and all that. I just didn't know they were that prevalent.
It's... Now, this is my knowledge being raised Catholic. There is probably in each diocese somebody, like a priest who has been introduced to the basic concept of exorcism, and every priest is going to have like a basic knowledge of like the church's doctrines on like what demons are and what they represent. But an actual dedicated demonologist, there hasn't been.
No, I didn't say demonologist, just an exorcist. From what I understand.
Or exorcist, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Is like an actual exorcist is not. It's just not a very. I think there's a very small hand. Like even by like the time that we're talking about, there's very few exorcists. There were very few exorcists. Oh, today.
No, today. I was just talking to my cousin who lives with my great aunt. And I was just talking about how we were covering this case, and she mentioned each diocese gets their own exorcist. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought, because I had mentioned how I figured, like I knew that was an official thing, but I didn't think that we had very many, especially here in America. But she's like, no, each diocese is supposed to have their own exorcist.
It might have used to be that way, like a couple hundred years ago. Nowadays, there's probably like less than 20 actual like recognized exorcists in the Catholic Church on the entire planet. They're just not that common anymore.
Okay. Also, so the way it's talked about in the book is a lot of. I think only the Annabell case really sounded like the church reached out to them on the behalf of the people that they went and saw, but they claimed most of their cases came to them from the church. I don't think it was just the Catholic Church, just churches in general.
Now that I can actually believe. Maybe not always necessarily Catholic churches, but like a lot of like evangelicals, like who may not like be completely all the way like.
Oh, and I forgot which faith it was, but specifically in the Annabell case, they talk about how a priest is going to come and bless the home, basically perform an exorcism. And Lore Lodge, the main Aiden who does the videos, because it's a team of Aidens, said that he actually had the same rites performed, and he claimed it wasn't truly a exorcism because they weren't casting out bad spirits, and that it was just putting positive thing, but it was doing the same work in the demonologist was the claim. But Aiden in his video talks about how it's an exorcism. It's still the same thing. It's just blah blah blah. It's a blessing. It's blah blah blah. It's still an exorcism.
I don't mean to keep like interjecting or anything, but like just based on like what I know and what I remember from like my Catholic upbringing. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
It wasn't the Catholic one. I will bring up. It was. I want to say it's P, but I don't want to say it's Presbyterian because that feels like it's
Pentecostal.
Wrong, but no, Pentecostal is just a style of Christian religion. It's not a specific branch. I don't remember at the moment, and I do apologize on that because I wanted to get that right, but I didn't.
But yeah, like just for some added context, just from my knowledge, the Catholic Church has like very strict, like defined methods that they have for like different kinds of prayers and different kinds of things that like specifically in regards to exorcisms, they have like a codified, like they have a book that has like the official like procedure for.
Yeah, it is regimented. It makes sense that they have exorcists, especially with the rules and there's rules and regulations to it. There's training, there's actual like expectations and things that they look for specifically. It's not just a bunch of smorgasbord hoopla, whatever you want to call it, for them. Like it's an actual thing. It's not.
Yeah, they don't just make it up as they go along. There's like a book that they have to memorize. And there's like a particular like set of benedictions.
There are a set of steps before you can like actually have a like one of your like, hey, I think I'm haunted. This house is haunted. Blah blah blah. There's an issue. An exorcist will even look your fucking way, like an official Catholic Church exorcist.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like how there's like the process for like making somebody a saint involves a shocking amount of bureaucracy and paperwork.
Yeah, it's.
I always found that very very funny, but I know exorcisms are kind of the same way. You got to do a lot of paperwork.
Ooh. Excuse me.
I say all of this just to say that I don't think that these folks, because they're not trained as priests, I don't think that they've ever been exposed to like the actual, like, Catholic, like they claim to be Catholic, but I don't think they've actually been exposed to like the actual Catholic dogma on what constitutes a legitimate exorcism is my main point.
Yeah, no, I totally picked up what you're throwing down. So, getting into the actual Annabelle story. In 1971, a nurse named Donna reaches out to the church, and they get a hold of Ed and Lorraine regarding a Raggedy Ann doll. Funny story. My sister didn't actually own... older sibling didn't actually own a Raggedy Ann doll, but they had a pillow depicting her, and I was just... And this is before I had anything to know about what Annabelle was or anything like that. I was creeped the fuck out by that pillow. Have you ever seen a Raggedy Ann doll?
Oh boy, have I. My mom had a Raggedy Ann doll growing up, and
Oof.
I saw, whenever I visited my grandparents' house, it was just there in the closet. And not only was it Raggedy Ann, but it was old as sin and beaten all to crap. And man, it looked haunted. It very much looked haunted. Yeah.
Not long after receiving the doll for... in the Demonologist is claimed her birthday, but there also claims it's a Christmas gift, just so you're aware. From the mom. Things were very apparently not right with it. Supposedly it kept moving, just weird things, but like at first you can chalk it up to someone has a key to my place and they are playing a prank on me. But then they started doing, those little tests, like the tape on the windows, blah 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 blah, because she has a roommate. Her and her roommate start doing that, and then as the boyfriend, and they know they're not doing anything, but Annabelle keeps moving, and this is before she has a name.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, what the fuck's going on? So they call in a medium. I think one of the articles I looked at just to get a little more details on different things, I think it was the one on All That Interesting article, because they have a couple different pages on the Warrens, so I was paging back and forth. I think they flew in the medium. She went into a trance, blah blah blah, looked into everything, and determined that the grounds was haunted by a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins. That no one else understood her, and asked if she could move into the doll. Like she could get along with them and blah 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 blah. And according to Ed and Lorraine, that was the first fuck up.
Yeah, I'm not a superstitious person, but if a ghost asks you through a medium to move into your doll so that they can interact with you better, you say no. You just say no on principle.
Also, pet bone to pick with the Warrens. They acted like Ouija boards and all that were and seance, like they acted like a lot of stuff that does not originate from like a Judeo-Abrahamic faith that interacts with the spirit world were compatible with a lot of their beliefs, even though that theoretically shouldn't fucking work.
Ma'am, you're claiming to be a medium. You are already so far into heretic territory that it does not matter.
I know, it's nitpicky, but still. Boyfriend started saying he wants the fucking doll gone. I think on one of the articles it said he wanted to burn the doll. Well, not long after, can you guess what happens?
Does he get hurt in some way?
Yes. So there were two incidences where the boyfriend gets hurt. Two incidents where the boyfriend was attacked. One of them he got hurt. The first one, he woke up. He had a nightmare where he woke up in the nightmare, and Annabell kind of like hovered up, floated up, and just put her hands on either side of his neck, like an electric current started, and started choking him out. And he wakes up to the doll choking him out. Like actually wakes up to the doll choking him out. And he flings the doll across the room when he actually wakes up.
Can you imagine how much less terrifying and just more funny this would be if instead of a Raggedy Ann doll, it was like a fucking Mickey Mouse plush or something?
This would be one of those like weird like TikTok scenes where like they're making a joke and someone just wakes up and Mickey's starting to choke them out for his money or Goofy's money.
You know,
where's my fucking money?
You know, the afterlife isn't all it's cracked up to be, huh?
Yeah. And then one night there's a disturbance in one of the empty rooms. Boyfriend gets up to go check it out. Room is still empty. He feels someone behind him. He turns around and he screams. And he gets 3, I can't remember what order, but it's a set of 3 and a set of 4 slashes on his chest. 3 vertical and I think 4 horizontal. And they were hot, like it was a burn. But for some reason, okay, how long do you think it would take you to heal from something like some, don't think of where it came from. Just like 7 slashes on your chest that are like light burnish on your chest. Like how long would that take to heal? To be completely gone?
Knee jerk, 3 weeks, at least.
2 days.
All right, dude. I think I'm gonna take a shot for that because that's so fucking blatant. Trust.
Cheers. The Warrens confirm, hey, that's a demon, not a ghost, and tell them you shouldn't have given it so much. That was one of their stupid dumbass rules. Is the occult only gets power if you give it attention. Like demons, like only have power over you, and they had stages. First, there's the infestation stage, which is basically what Annabell was kind of doing. And then there's the oppression stage, where they are like controlling your lives, ruining your life, and doing all like, think of like borderline on getting close to being possessed kind of territory. Not quite possessed, but oppression is like it's oppressing your life.
Yeah. I get what you're laying down.
So they confirm everything. They send in for the priest and have him bless the house and the lands and all that. And then they take away the doll. They were already planning on moving out, so it wasn't a big deal. But like, it helps get rid of the bad juju, supposedly. And Annabell is taken away to be a part of their museum. Lorraine claims she sees a vision. I don't remember if this was right as she was leaving or if it was a little bit later, about Annabell causing them to have a wreck. And this wreck is claimed to have been either this or part of the Amityville case, because, you know, their stories fucking change.
Right.
But, yeah, they have that. Then, and this is another part where the stories change a lot. A priest is looking at the doll at one point, and I can't remember all the context, and calls her just a Raggedy Ann doll and Raggedy Doll or something like that. And in later accounts, bro gets fucking yoded across the room. Like, not in the Demonologist, but...
That's what you get, you raggedy bitch!
Alrighty, so into the Amityville case, this is actually really interesting. If we ever do, like, a smorgasbord of, like, murder, like, interesting, famous murder cases, but they're not, like, long enough to go into deep, I might run back to the Amityville case, but I'm going to give a brief synopsis on it right now. Like, the actual, like, the murder that occurred in the house. So, in 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. ends up slaughtering his whole family, basically.
Good start to a story.
what happened was, and his cover up is just bullshit. He supposedly had a hitman that he was trying to blame it on, but they were out of town, so it couldn't do that. And then he got a bunch of his friends together at like a local hangout. I want to say it was a bar, because he was 23 at the time, and he's like, I can't get a hold of my parents or my siblings, and they go all together and investigate, and they find everyone dead. And very, very setup kind of thing to like, oh, I discovered the bodies. Very quickly, the law enforcement figure out, oh, it was this dunderhead. And he gets sentenced and all that good stuff. Well, roll around 1 year later, and the Lutz family moves in.
Oh, bad choice. I bet they got the house cheap, though.
80 grand.
Jesus Christ, I could do that right now. Jesus Christ, I could afford that fucking mortgage right now. Oh my God.
Even with our interest rates, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Holy shit.
Because it was a 4,000 square foot house.
80 grand, 4,000 square foot is Jesus Christ, our parents really fucked this up for us.
Calm down. Lower your chubby, sir. Lower your chubby.
No, this isn't a chubby. This is utter despair.
Our chances of being homeowners slowly slipping away are already gone.
Oh, man. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
Almost immediately, shit started happening. One of the absolutely wildest claims I've ever heard someone say about a haunting. Can you guess what they claimed? And it's like, think of a gag in Scooby-Doo related to ghost hauntings. Like the actual, like if there had been actual ghosts kind of stuff. Think Scooby-Doo-esque.
Oh, fuck. I don't know where you're going with this, so
just take a guess, and I'll guide you to the right spot.
It was actually the janitor.
No, I'm not talking about like a twist like that. I mean, like, you know how Scooby-Doo would handle if ghosts were real kind of stuff. Like what would if Scooby-Doo was investigating real paranormal stuff, like, and it was still like a cartoon like it is today, like, and it's still aimed at kids. What would be like some like creepy thing that they would claim for a haunting, like that would show up in like the house?
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Writing on the walls in blood.
This is the same level. Oozing ectoplasm from the walls.
I fucking love ectoplasm. Shot. Bro.
Cheers! Yeah, that's what the Lutz family said, is there was ectoplasm leaking from the walls.
He slimed me.
The Warrens believed that ectoplasm was just reconstituted shit.
Boy, they sure have this all thought out, don't they?
The Warrens said that ghosts, demons can't create nothing, they can just teleport shit. Literally and figuratively. Like they can move, they can teleport like stuff from place to place, and like that smell, whatever, they're literally just dematerializing shit and like other like literal and figurative shit and like moving it.
There's just fucking there's fucking ghost shit coming out of my walls, man.
There's ghost shit coming out of their mouth.
Oh no, that's an infect.
Not literally. That because they're just spewing bullshit.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. Took me a second.
Yeah, they're just spewing shit. They claim that eyes were peering into the house with no one around. Wife randomly started levitating. The husband woke up every night at 3:15 a.m. It's the supposed time of the killings.
This is just a CO2 leak. It's just a gas leak in the house.
Or it could be the dad is in severe debt.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you got some.
And he faked it all. Everyone knows it was a fucking hoax so he could try and make money off the house. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah, I'm following. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. To be fair,
the son, one of the sons claimed it was the haunting was real. Dad just milked stepdad milked the shit out of it, which maybe it was haunted. That like an entire family got murdered except for the son who did the murdering. But like all this stuff they claimed about it. Yeah, no.
To be to be to be fair, I think it's disrespectful to do it just a few years after.
Oh yeah, hell no.
That's very disrespectful, but
The hustle. Yeah. Then our last investigative case, like the Warrens came in and supposedly they never did any of the exorcism themselves, but they took care of stuff. Also, it seemed like they just pestered the shit out of everybody who had like a haunted place. I meant to bring this up earlier, but how they got into the investigations, the paranormal investigations, they went around sketching haunted houses, and they would use Lorraine to detect the haunted houses. And they would go up to the owner after they got done sketching it and just offer the sketch to the owner to get more information about the house. Like, hey, what's the background? What's any dirty secrets in the property's history? And then supposedly afterward, they would get the information. They would color in the sketch and then put it in their gallery. But how do you I think it was Aiden from the Lore Lodge asked how they had the sketch and the colored in thing, but I just assumed they did two sketches like that, or they had like duplicate paper or something like that for the sketch. Like that was my assumption, is like they had a way to double up on that, and they added it to their art collection for the occult museum. Moving back on to the Foster family disturbance. Can you imagine what kind of Christmas gift started off this haunting?
Okay, back up. Say that again. What kind of Christmas gifts?
Christmas gift started this haunting.
Oh boy, I'm gonna need some context. What is the most haunted thing I can think of to give to somebody as a Christmas gift?
Something you give to something that lets them invite themselves to be haunted. Not that you get haunted by just owning it.
A Ouija board.
That's almost giving you the answer. No, but I don't blame you for that one. The mom buys, and I don't remember how old she is, but I'm assuming like 14, 15, like either preteens or early teens. The mom buys her a conjuring book. How to conjure fucking demons.
Wow. Alright, so
yeah. Because this girl's into supernatural stuff, occult, and not the TV show, because this is decades and decades before it.
Yeah. So, to be fair, cool mom.
That's a rad mom.
That's fine. That part is fine, because honestly, if I was that mom, I don't believe in demons. That
Till your daughter conjured a couple and then you're haunted.
In that case, I would believe in demons.
Essentially, that's what happened. She tried some of the... She can't remember what spells, like, because she did a couple of them. Can't remember which ones she did. And nothing happened at first. And then she just kind of, like, put it away. And the next thing you know, they're just dealing with weird shit. So the haunting started, and this is the description of, like, the first little bit is... the daughter, she seems like the oldest sibling from the way the story's told, or like they're all really close in age. But she gets out of the shower and she's getting the house like ready for bed, and like shutting the lights off, turning shit off. You know, like
right, yeah,
bedding the house down, or however you want to put that. So she gets out of the shower, she's turning off lights, she turns specifically the radio off. And when she's heading back upstairs to turn the radio off, she noticed, hey, even though I turned the water off in the bathroom for the shower, it's back on. So she turns it off again. And then by the time she gets out of there, the radio's back on. And then...
Boy, demons are such fucking assholes. Like this isn't even like scary. This is just fucking annoying.
And then goes back down, turns off the radio again. I think there's, like, I can't remember this part too good because it's like a 10-hour book that I had to rifle through a bunch of bullshit to get some like actual details on this. I think she feels a presence, gets freaked, goes to her room, and then this repeats another day later, but like even more intense. The next time the clocks are off, so one clock is 3 hours behind, one clock's 3 hours ahead. She runs to the brother's room, and they get so spooked they run away, and they actually make it all the way to like the local college, call the parents. Law enforcement escort them home, and they get a hold of the Warrens. And supposedly the haunting / demon is taken care of. And they take away the book.
Now, if this story were true, I'd take away the book too. that is.
No, the Warrens take it off to their like thing because like at this point the family's like it doesn't matter what interest they have, they're fucking scared to their lives. They don't want nothing to do with it.
Right. Yeah. I'm just.
And that's what I was getting at just now. There's not a lot of substance to a lot of their cases. Like they're big name cases.
Yeah, can you imagine how fucking easy their jobs were? They get a call from somebody who like heard their house settle one.
That or they just go, hey, this place is haunted. Let's go pester these people till they let us do something. Because that's what it sounded like they did. They just
really
went around traveling, pestering people for like access to haunted locations.
They didn't even wait to like be contacted about shit that was happening. Like I was imagining that like somebody.
They went out investigating, like, a lot of places they were contacted, but also they went and just investigated haunted places, too. Like, it was just fucking weird. Are you ready for the pedo allegations, Derek?
Hey, real quick, hey, how are you doing? I'm the door-to-door exorcist. Would you be interested in...
I'm the door-to-door demonologist.
We offer a free evaluation for possible demonic intercession on the premises of your abode. The evaluation is free. If we do find a haunting, we charge like $259.99 for a full course, or you can upgrade to $599.99 for the. We bring in a Catholic priest, and he basically points a bazooka at a random wall and blows it up, and the demon's dead.
I think people would get a kick out of that if they had done that. But nah, they did the full like religious grift part of it and fucked with people. So, was Ed Warren a pedo?
It'd be so on the nose if he was. It'd just be...
So you want to hear about his live-in a 15-year-old mistress wife?
Fucking hell, dude. I can't believe you just said those words in that order. Alright.
Live-in child mistress. At 15 years old, Miss Judith Penny claims she started basically an extramarital affair where she lived with the Warrens with Lorraine's full knowledge.
God, these people are so... Here's the thing. This is obviously fucking awful, the things that you're telling me and are about to tell me. I just need to emphasize, like, it's awful, but also this is just fucking weird. Like, these people are fucking...
Take the pedo allegations out of the equation. Ed and Lorraine were already fucking whack jobs.
Right.
In fact, this was in the 70s. Not 70s. This is in the 60s, actually. So... He's in his 30s. She's 15, by the way.
Right.
As to be expected with pedophiles. She actually gets arrested, and they try and get her to turn on Ed, but she believed he loved her. So she didn't. She actually ends up having to go to, like, weekly, like, almost court, almost like, it's almost like therapy and, like, parole check-in at the same time. And Ed drives her there after school.
Oh, that is so bad. That is... God, it is...
They move her into their house in an upstairs bedroom, and supposedly Ed alternates between sleeping with her and... I don't know if she meant both... She probably meant both, literally and figuratively, every other night. One was with Lorraine, one was with Penny. Everything refers to her as Penny, even though her first name's Judith, so that's how I referred to her in my notes.
That is so oh, Jesus. Oh, man, maybe he should have been a priest.
I mean, he had everything down but the official training. In 1978, when she was in her 30s, she became pregnant with Ed's child, is what she claims.
It's just...
And she was forced to get an abortion. Because what would that say about the Warrens?
Oh, come on, you... See, this is... Okay, that right there, what that tells me is that they're not fully just batshit insane. They're conscious grifters.
They know what they're fucking doing. That's what that tells me.
Like, they're weird. Obviously they're fucking weird people, but they're not weird in like the oh, they actually believe this shit sort of way. They're weird in like they just the way that they chose to fucking live their lives. God, oh, man, this sucks.
There was an affidavit about this by Judith Penny in 2014, and a couple years later, Lorraine's estate, I think it's her estate, on like basically her lawyers, I know that, so that's why I said estate, say Judith knows nothing, not Judith, but Lorraine knows nothing about this, essentially denies it, because she's in her like late 80s going into 90s around this time. She's in declining health from what I understand. She doesn't have time to give this time of day, supposedly. But what's claimed is the Warrens did not know her until she was 18, but this is not how they put it, but this is how I'm describing it. They pseudo-adopted her because she didn't have anyone else, and because they were traveling a fucking lot, she would just watch the house for them. She had a steady boyfriend for years, supposedly, and they eventually got married. I think they had kids. I'm not 100% on that, is what the claim is about this. And, like, right now, at this point, before I get to this last bit of a thing, that sounds like a lot of he said, she said. Maybe someone's trying to grift the grifters, like, or the grift off the common artists, right? Because, like, get famous, all that. Other than explicitly stated in her contract about telling the story of The Conjuring, it states that Ed and Lorraine cannot be depicted as engaging with criminal actions with children of minors in a sexual manner.
Ooh.
That's why I added this in, because there is like really good concrete people saying, like, say whatever you want to say about those allegations. We know that's in the contract, is they cannot be depicted as engaging in legal activities against minors. It's like it's more vaguely worded than basically, hey, don't depict us having sex with minors. But it nothing in any of their stories would have it where like you would need to have that in the contract unless something like this actually happened.
Yeah, unless they...
Like, nothing in their official stories would come close to them needing to have to say that.
Oh, Jesus. Boy, I don't like these people.
They're fucking con artists that got lucky, because if they tried this shit today, if we had a brand new Ed and Lorraine Warren, we would just brush them off and they're grifters, because they did not try hard. There was, like, very little substance to this shit. Because, like, they didn't try hard, but it was the 70s. They didn't fucking have to. The bar was so much more on the, like, lower, essentially.
Man.
So, Derek, what do you think of Ed and Lorraine Warren?
Real quick, I do have one question. Just because very, very recently I have gotten interested in, like, not necessarily esotericism itself, but just, like, kind of the history of esotericism. And one of the things that's kind of fascinated me about it is, especially in regards to demonology, is that a lot of like early, like medieval demonology really emphasized like the identification of demons and like being able to put a name to demons.
So, okay, they were very specific about this. Those are not demons. Those are devils, and those are like the managers.
Okay, so yeah, they made that up. That's just made up. That they didn't get that from anyone because
Yeah. They also talked about, you know how there's supposedly like a lot of times with hauntings, demon possessions, and all that. There's little notes, handwriting stuff, bullshit. And they were very specific. All demons or devils, right, basically backwards, but devils, like the named ones that we talk about and think about, there was a lot. The scratching handwriting that we think of when we think of like possessions and all that. That's the devil. That's the demons. That's the regular. Those are the regular people. The devils have nice handwriting. They still go backwards. They still all do that. But it's like really elegant. Like that's mentioned in the fucking book, by the way.
that's just so fucking funny to me because it's one of the things that's I find most interesting about like medieval, like old-fashioned, like classic demonology is that they had these really complex, sophisticated hierarchies of demons. Like they had like entire like charts.
They were always trying. Sorry to cut you off. They were always trying to get the demon's name, but everything, like all the stories that were covered in the Demonology specifically, they never actually got names because like they don't really. They were always peons, and I guess they didn't have like a name of power per se, but knowing who they served did stuff like that. So they brought up who they served, and that meant something. Yeah, all this shit was just so like fucking like
because demonology, even though it's obvious, like self-evidently bullshit, and it has like a very dark.
Like I want to believe in a lot of supernatural stuff, like, and I think there's a possibility like there's just stuff we can't perceive on our local vision. This shit very clear, like this is faker than a $3 bill.
Yeah, it's just because even though I don't believe in it, like demonology, like the idea of like studying demons and how they interact with like the physical, like the mortal realm, that kind of concept, like those esoteric ideas are really interesting and really fascinating, and there's a lot of like thought and depth that goes into it.
There's a lot of lore you can explore. There's a lot of ideas that you can get into. Like, Supernatural specifically didn't get into it until the later seasons, but they built a big mythos around how hell works. The intricacies, the levels of hierarchy, all of that. And the Warren's just like, oh, the ones with the names are the managers. Do.
Yeah, and it's just the Warrens are really just like emblematic of like the deeper, just the way that all of these like classic these really like you know, in my opinion, self-evidently bullshit, but very philosophically sophisticated concept, like theologically sophisticated concepts, and they're just dumbed down in order to sell a product, and it's just so disappointing.
Well, see, the concepts themselves are like really cool. Makes you want to believe and think, okay, maybe if we adjust our understanding, eventually we'll find something that'll explain other stuff away, and bam, it's real, just not in the way we thought. The Warrens are just straight fanficking the hell out of this shit.
Yeah, it's like it's like comparing Shakespeare to shitty fanfic. It's so disappointing.
No, it's like comparing Shakespeare to illiterate fanfic.
Yeah, like you look at one, you see this
illiterate fanfic that are trying to mimic Shakespeare because they're trying to mimic his, because they always had the fancy like they had a whole bunch of vocabulary vernacular that they just made the fuck up, that if I had even imparted half of like how ironically stupid it sounds, and how wholeheartedly they delivered it, you would have called a couple of shots, Derek.
Yeah.
Couple more shots, let me put it that way.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I was just when we were talking about that, I just started an image popped into my head of like Shakespeare fanfic, and I started, the first thing that popped into my head was fanfic about like yaoi fanfic about Romeo and Mercutio.
You know that's a thing. That has to be a thing.
As soon as it popped into my head, that's exactly what I thought. It was, oh, that's a thing.
I love how like our generations replaced gay fanfic with yaoi fanfic.
I don't fucking know the difference. Well, look at me. Look.
It's literally the same. We just decided we're gonna make yaoi a loan word and just make it in our, because 90% of people who don't know what a lot of Japanese stuff know what fucking yaoi is, because the internet is forever.
I mean, fucking look at me. I wear trucker hats and boots. I don't know what the fuck yaoi is.
Yes, you do, Derek. You're friends with Miles. You know what fucking yaoi is.
I know what it is in the abstract. I don't know. I couldn't tell you a definition for it. I know it has something to do with gay people, like gay men.
It's just literature involving gay people, usually really like not literally, but like just overly dramatic. It is usually the idea behind it, but not necessarily a requirement. It's just gay literature. A
complete rewrite of Romeo and Juliet, down to like the specific like meter that was used by Shakespeare in his like native contemporary English, but it replaces Juliet with Mercutio.
That's fucking hilarious. Give us $100 and we'll have Derek read that to me to suffer for 2 hours. We'll do the first chapter for $200.
No. Shit, you give me $200, I'll read fucking T-Rex erotica. I don't give a shit.
It's just 2 hours of Derek roaring.
No, but I actually just, now that it's in my mind, I absolutely want to see like some actual like erotica written in like Shakespeare's English.
Alrighty, Derek. Before we go too much further off the rails, where can they find you on the social medias?
They can find me at Blue Sky. They can find me on Blue Sky at Visigoth. The O is a 0. Tim, give them the good stuff.
They can find me at Tim, aka Otis, on Blue Sky, and they can find the podcast at the Alexander Society Pod on Instagram and Facebook, and Alex Society Pod on Blue Sky, and Alexander Society on TikTok, which we have not posted, and we need to do better, but probably will we? Probably not.
Maybe, who knows?
If you liked what you listened to, please give us a rating and review on your streaming platform of choice, and we will see you next time.